Well, for the first time in 38 years, the Arizona Cardinals have started the season 4-0. They'll look to make it 5-0 this Thursday night on the road against their division rival St. Louis Rams. BETDAQ currently has Arizona installed as a 1-point favorite in this game, 38.5 the total. And the Cardinals have been surprising, but the Rams have been pretty surprising themselves. 2-2 on the season, 3-1 against the number. Remember, 2 games, that's as many games this Rams team won all of last year. Of course, Jeff Fisher is the new head coach there. He had so much success for so many years in Tennessee, and he's already made a mark on this team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Defense is Fisher's specialty, and this Rams team is much improved on defense. And on offense, you can tell Jeff Fisher, he wants them to go more towards conservative, a maybe run-based attack, or if they're not run-based, at least a balanced attack. When the Rams drafted Sam Bradford, number 1 overall, a couple of years ago, it looked like their idea was to become a sort of spread it out and throw it all over the lot type of team. That did not work, obviously. Fisher, maybe they're not doing that because they don't have the weapons. I think they're not doing that because that's not who Jeff Fisher is. That's never what they were in Tennessee, even when he did have a great quarterback in Steve McNair. Always a balanced type offense. You know, Fisher comes from a defensive background. He doesn't want to leave his defense stranded out on the field forever. He wants to let his defense hang in games and give his team a chance to win games. And the Rams, have done that this year. They've hung in every one of their games. I know they lost, sort of a lopsided result week 3 against the Chicago Bears, but they really could have won that game if not for such a bad performance out of Sam Bradford. They hung right in there with the Bears on the road for quite a while. This Rams team has been tough. They've won both of their home games this season. Still, it might come to some as a surprise that the Cardinals are only a 1-point favorite here. Again, the Cardinals are undefeated this year, and when you look a little closer at the history of these two teams, Arizona has won 10 out of the last 11 against the St. Louis Rams, 8-3 against the number in those 11 games. And here's what's more startling. Arizona has won 7 games in a row in St. Louis. They play there every year for the last 7 seasons. The Cardinals have walked out of Edward Jones Dome a winner. And so, taking that history into consideration and considering the fact that Arizona is undefeated this year, you think, why is this team only a 1-point favorite? Maybe it's because odds makers realize that this Arizona Cardinals team might not be quite as good as their record, and the St. Louis Rams might be a little better than theirs, especially at home. Again, the Rams won both their home games. They were underdogs in both those games. This team has not quite been getting enough respect. They're just a little bit better than people have given them credit for, better than people thought they were going to be heading into the season. And the Arizona Cardinals, even though they're 4-0, 31st in the league in total offense. Out of their 4 wins, 3 of their wins have been by 4 points or less. So you could say they're doing it with smoke and mirrors a little bit. I know their defense has been great, 3rd in the league in points allowed, and I do expect that defense to really limit this St. Louis Rams offense. That's why we see such a low total here, 38.5, because neither one of these offenses you expect to do a whole lot of anything. But you look at the matchups closer, and really I lean towards the Rams in this game. And the Rams, maybe they've got a positive shine for me this year because I'm 2-0 betting on the Rams this year. Won on them in both of their previous home games. Wins last week against Seattle and in week 2 against the Washington Redskins. But really, if you're going to beat this St. Louis Rams team, as I said, they have an excellent secondary led by Cortland Finnegan. But you can run the ball on this team. The Rams have trouble stopping the run. However, Arizona doesn't run the ball very well at all. 68 yards a game on the ground so far this season for Arizona. Kevin Cobb, even though he hasn't put up big numbers by any means, he's been their best form of offense. They have gotten Larry Fitzgerald going over the last couple games. 17 receptions, 178 yards, 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games for Fitzgerald. So that's good news for Cardinals fans, obviously. I have a feeling Cortland Finnegan is going to be seeing a lot of Larry Fitzgerald in this game on Thursday night. And Cobb, again, he's played pretty well. 7 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. He's been the Cardinals' best form of offense. But attacking this Rams secondary, that's not the part of this team you want to attack. The Rams have a ball-hawking secondary. They can make some plays happen back there. And I don't think Arizona's going to be able to – they don't run the ball very much, so they're not going to be able to attack the Rams where they should be attacked, that run defense. And on the road, I just have a feeling it's time for the Arizona Cardinals. Have a sneaking feeling that the Rams as 1-point home underdogs might be a good bet here. I know Arizona fans are going to throw up their arms and say, what, we win every game, we still don't get the respect, and I guess that's true. And I know not only have the Cardinals won all 4 of their games this season, they've won 11 out of the last 13 games stretching back to last season. And again, I realize the Cardinals have had great success against the St. Louis Rams here, so maybe I'm guilty as charged, just not giving the Cardinals the respect they're due. But hey, I'm not giving them that respect. I do think the St. Louis Rams, are going to come out this Thursday night with a good home win.